Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Daily Invocation, your beloved source of information and inspiration on your paths of healing, attainment, and liberation.
Hope everyone is fantastic today. We are in Alajuela, and tomorrow we fly out of Costa Rica back to Mexico. So we're in this reflection mode around what our trip, this being our third trip in Costa Rica, was like, what our experiences have been, where we've been this time, etc. So back in October of last year, so we're almost at the 1 year mark since we left the US.
October 2020 by US.
We were living in Venice Beach at the time. Prasad had been in West LA for quite a while, and we packed up all our stuff and put it in storage, and we decided to leave the US indefinitely at that point. We came to Costa Rica knowing that there are a lot of communities here and a lot of nature. So two of the things our hearts were really pulled towards. And so we knew if we went and visited one place and it wasn't a good fit, we could find another one very easily. And that has absolutely been the case.
So today, with us departing Costa Rica in a few hours, wanted to invoke some Pura Vida. That was very, very much, for me, a drawing point to come to Costa Rica when we decided last October let's start our digital nomading in Costa Rica. I was very interested. Many people had reported this Pura Vida, pure life, relaxation. On the frustrating side, time is very casual and informal, and everything is super laid back.
Not as much as some other countries.
Correct.
So
yes, that's a fact.
It's actually not terrible.
Yeah. So like we've said previously, and I've told everyone I've talked to, Pura Vida is real. At least for me, I could feel it almost instantaneously in Costa Rica. It felt great. And so yeah, really important to invoke that today as we move into Mexico, which we both love and has a different energy too.
Yeah.
And so we were reflecting, this is our third trip to Costa Rica, our third time because it's 90-day visa, so our 90 days are up.
Yeah, just so we're clear on the Pura Vida, it is a relaxing vibe. It's a very much flow, kind of be here now kind of energy that is always there. It doesn't need to be pointed out. It reminds me a little bit of Hawaii has the aloha vibe, and that's welcoming and warm, and that has its own relaxation too. So I just wanted to make sure that we all understood more or less what Pura Vida means. Yeah.
So while invoking that, thank you. While invoking that Pura Vida today, I wanted to share a little bit about this 90-day visit. We got here mid-June, went to Imaloa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we were, selected out of hundreds of people to share this beautiful space. And coming to you in 2023, of course, is our retreat at Imaloa. We consider Imaloa the Malibu. If you're familiar with California, the Malibu of that particular area of Costa Rica. We haven't been to the Caribbean side just yet, although you got close this time. But and we were there with other global transformational leaders. In fact, yesterday, if you're on our Instagram, if you follow us there, we had a really long and wonderful lunch with Michelle Gabriel, who helps people kind of craft their message, and she's been doing it for a really long time. So that was wonderful. So we're also reflecting on the connections we've made here.
Yeah, made some wonderful connections. So then from the Imaloa Masters weekend, we went to Icomaste.
Yes.
One of our, as Cornadera was saying, one of our big joys of Costa Rica is all of the communities here and the community ethos. And so we had almost a week. And I was in Diamante Valley with this wonderful community called Icomaste. They had just recently got the land, but they had a lot of vision and a lot of passion.
It's essentially an eco village. They were gearing up for some bamboo workshops there. And the interesting part of that community is that it's almost in this area where they have micro communities, is the way I look at it. I'm not sure how they would describe it, but the area is called Fuente Verde. And there's Icomaste, I think it's called Be Home, right? Just a few steps there. And then up the road, there's Chalasol, which is a community space, but it's also like a co-living space as well. The owner is Susana, and I attended some events there since I got to spend more time in that area.
And then we went to Finca de Vida, our home away from home in Costa Rica, the place we're most grounded to. I did my 14-day water fast, which we shared about, and you had your longest consecutive visit at Finca de Vida.
Yeah, and I had my my second tea fast there. Yes, a lot of firsts with some other plant medicines there, and I shared recently about being able to be there. Usually, it's people that are coming. They do have a 1 week minimum, but usually people are coming kind of in and out. And this time was also the first time, even though we've been there, this was our third time there, where there was longer term residence. So it felt like a community, even though it's actually a retreat space and more of a detox, healthy kind of living where you could learn to cook and be fed amazing vegan clean food. And while I stayed, then you left.
I went up to towards north central near Arenal Volcano and Lake Arenal, and did the month-long reworlding residency at Brave Earth with the 17 of us really looking at post-capitalist life, living together in community, overturning capitalism and the patriarchy, and 2 weeks out, still processing, recovering a little bit, and integrating.
Yeah.
It was a profound month, and more to be shared on that.
And that was a bit of a reconnecting too, because our friends Joe and Laura, hello, came to visit our second visit to Costa Rica, and we did a road trip together. And so that was the first time we went to Brave Earth, Tierra Valiente, because they have this retreat space, and then on the other side, they want to build a community. So we thought, okay, perfect model that would probably fit in really well with our needs and our desires. So that's when you learned about the residency program and you signed right up. Yeah.
And then from the residency program, the intensity of that, and some time before our 90 days were up, a couple of people said, hey, let's go decharge, detox, relax at the beach. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to finally go to the Caribbean side. Puerto Viejo wasn't available, so we ended up in Santa Teresa. And got to reconnect with Asha and Michelle Rose and Rosie, and had a wonderful time with some old friends.
We met Asha on our first trip to Costa Rica. So it's hilarious because although it's been less than a year that we've been traveling and we're only here from anywhere from 2 to 3 months at a time, I think this is the first time we max out our 3 months, like literally to the T. We've made some beautiful connections, and that's one lovely part of the digital nomad life for us anyway. So on the one hand, yes, we're away from friends back home, if you will, and relationships that we've built over long periods of time, but it also opens us up to these new ways of connecting. And I heard someone talk, they might have been a digital nomad too, or someone who travels quite a bit, who said it's almost like you could fall more deeply into the relationship and into authenticity faster when you're traveling, because one, you're aware that you don't have as much time. So you just do it. And then two, there's a little bit of a sense of, especially because we spend a lot of our time at retreat centers or community living, that we're all there intentionally seeking those parts of us and the self-discovery piece and the exploration. And so there's already this open-mindedness and somewhat of a similar intention. And so it's really interesting to meet other like-minded people that we often feel like we've known forever or become our brothers and sisters very easily.
Yeah, it's not only the camaraderie of travel partners and partnership and friendship, it's also the camaraderie of community orientation and generally spirituality. Yeah. So, and then, so I was in the Santa Teresa beach for a week, and very different feel than Diamante Valley, or, it very much had that surfer vibe, right? Some deeper Pura Vida feeling there, which was nice. And then she got to Alajuela just before I did. And then now we're in Alajuela, about 5-10 minutes from the airport, which we love because of the two favorite restaurants here, El Chanti and Taj Mahal. So nice having Indian food in the middle of Costa Rica.
Yeah, we've been thinking about making some videos around the hiccups that you kind of bump up against when you are living this kind of lifestyle. And obviously today we're sharing more about the beauty of the connections that we're able to make and the reconnections thereafter. But it's Alajuela. So because Finca de Vida is 4 hours from the airport, we usually try to stay overnight when we arrive and or when we leave to help break down all that travel. You're on bumpy roads, windy roads, etc. So it just is very helpful. It also helps because when we're in the middle of the jungle, things like haircuts and buying mascara for myself, or things like that, the beard, etc. It's not as easy, right? It's not as accessible. You kind of have to make a whole day out of it. And that is not a complaint. It just helps to then come here. I will have spent a total of 10 days here in the city to get some of those logistics out of the way. So that it's really helpful. And like you said, there's amazing food here. And now there's, more and more, we meet people that we can then connect with anywhere in Costa Rica that we go now. So that's amazing. In less than a year, that's possible. Yeah.
So today at 5:50, tomorrow, I guess at 5:55 a.m., we're on the road to Mexico City. So we will see you from Mexico.
Yeah.
Pura Vida.
No live daily invocation tomorrow because of that. We'll be on the plane, but we will see you back here this Saturday for
Transcendation.
Much love.